Alright guys, so today we're gonna be talking about 5 reasons why you should give Virtua Fighter a go. This is a really amazing fighting game and probably the best fighting game ever made for many reasons. And these 5 reasons are probably the most relevant. So let's not delay this too much. Let's go into it. At number 1, you have skill levels being well defined. What this means is that Virtua Fighter is not the type of game where a complete amateur player that's just a button masher is going to beat an intermediate player. And it's not a game where an intermediate player is going to beat an advanced player. Sure, they could get lucky and win a couple of rounds or fights, but generally speaking, levels of skill and levels of experience are very well defined in this game. It doesn't make you feel like someone without experience is just gonna start mashing buttons and he's gonna beat you, like it happens in games like Soul Calibur or even Tekken. I'm not talking obviously about experienced players losing to button mashers, but intermediate players can lose to button mashing from time to time in this type of game. That's something you're definitely not gonna be seeing in Virtua Fighter most of the time. Number 2, there's very little Hocus Pocus. What this means is that you can forget about teleports, about fireballs, or really crazy moves that are just a little too flashy and ruin the neutral game. Here you have some acrobatics, of course. There are some jumps that are obviously not possible for a human being. But generally speaking, this is a game that has the least amount of crazy moves and projectiles and any of that crazy stuff that you see in most modern fighting games. It's an incredibly complex game. It's more like a martial arts game, you know, like 80s martial arts movies where you would see these kung fu fighters, and that's what it looks like when you're playing high-level Virtua Fighter. Number 3, a balanced roster. There's absolutely no game in the FGC out there right now that has the level of balance that you find in Virtua Fighter 5. Every character in this game has the chance to win. Sure, there are characters that are gonna have a little bit of a better chance, they're gonna have better tools, but this game really does have a balanced roster. You never feel like, hey, my character is unable to win against this other character. Sure, some matchups are more favorable to some characters, but this is as balanced as it gets, guys. So whoever you choose, you're never gonna be like, oh, I chose a very low tier character. It's not like some kind of uphill battle like you would find in a game where a Sonar is going against a rushdown character and things like that. Here it doesn't happen that way. Number 4, we have Footsie Heaven. And what I mean by Footsie Heaven is that Virtua Fighter 5 is a game that reigns in the neutral. This is a game that really caters to the footsie game. The footsie work in this game, the distancing, the spacing, the moves that you use, the poking, everything is just like an incredibly complex, but at the same time very simple game to get started with. Last but not least, number 5, you have no clutter. And what I mean by no clutter is that there are no EX bars, there are no super meters, there's none of that in this game. So that's it, guys. Those are the 5 most essential reasons why you should be trying Virtua Fighter 5. So that's all. Just enjoy this amazing fighting title. Remember to subscribe if you like the content, and I will see you in the next one.